Hey peeps, we are live.
Yo,
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
We are live.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
That's all we're offering. It's the truth.
Nothing
What up,
more.
peeps?
This is Alicia Minto checking in from South Carolina.
peace. What's going on, family? This is Chris Craig from New Jersey.
And Hashim Poole coming in from South Carolina.
We are bringing you real money talk.
From real people.
On a real journey to real financial freedom.
We have been called to break down global economic concepts and ideas.
To help you grasp the realities of what's happening around you and how it impacts your livelihood.
So here's the red pill revelation from our perspective as thinkers, as we navigate through this twilight zone and what we can do in the now to protect ourselves.
We are the real money entourage.
We are the real money entourage.
We are the real money entourage.
And we are, guys. Welcome to the Real Money Entourage. You are here at the Red Pill Revelation, and I am excited. And, you know, I actually have mixed emotions today. I'm a little bit crazed, but we will get into that. We brought you Morpheus because we're going to drop some red pills tonight. We've been taking it easy, but we are going to take it there because now more than ever, we need to get this information so that we know how to navigate through this twilight zone. But before we get into that, definitely want to have you to like and share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Red Pill Revelation. If you have not yet liked our Facebook page, definitely take a moment and like that and share it as well. So our last episode, which was Friday, we had a special guest. We had Kansu Atum Hotep. Did I say that right?
Hotep Atum.
Okay, I'm sorry, Hotep Atum. My apologies, brother. We had him on the show and he dropped so many nuggets. He is a wealth of knowledge. We were talking about preparing, as I have alluded to already, guys. Right now, more than ever, we need to wake up and prepare for what's happening, and especially in lieu of what we just heard a couple hours ago. Most of us don't even know what that means, but it's really serious. So let's get into this conversation. Miss Alicia, we're gonna kind of talk to Alicia tonight. And of course, guys, if you're on the platform with us, please feel free to chime in. We'll definitely try to keep up and share your posts and comments. But we have all had a lot of red pills. And when we say red pill, what I think of when I think of red pill is just something, an idea or thought or a concept that I had not thought of or had even considered that was presented to me that is unbelievable. Like it's beyond the realm of truth and the scope of which I see it. And that may have been like a long way of saying it. Maybe one of you guys can like chop that up of what red pill means to you, but that's what that means to me. And I have experienced a lot of truth traumas this week. But Miss Alicia is new to the red pill, right? So I just kind of want to get her take. And Chris, of course, you can jump in wherever you feel the need. But I kind of want to just have a conversation about the red pills that you've experienced, or what do you feel like red pill is?
All right. So first of all, I have to say that I'm very fortunate to have been led to be in the realm of you and Chris, because I can only imagine that maybe a year, no, maybe 2, 5, definitely 10 years ago, I would not be open to even receive the information that you all have provided, right? And for me, the red pill is information that hasn't been taught to me, or information that I've just never been exposed to. So there's been a lot of information within Wealth Builders Worldwide, as a wealth builder, that I've been exposed to in regards to talking about what real money is and what real money isn't. Those were red pills for me because I always thought cash was money. And so beyond that scope of the finances, when you're talking about why we are where we are today, right? Why our United States corporation is operating the way that it's operating today.
Wait a minute. You said
Yeah.
United States Corporation. Y'all hear that?
Right,
Okay.
because they are publicly traded, so they are a corporation, right? They're a business. So just trying to put all the pieces together, and you have to kind of dissect your own life and your own world, and really expose the lack, I guess, or the where there's voids, and then try to figure out what puzzle pieces are missing. So there's been so many red pills that you all have shared with me or exposed me to, that I've been open to receive, that actually are fitting in those puzzle pieces. And it just makes sense. And it didn't make sense why certain things in life were the way that they were. So now I'm able to receive the information and move differently, because now I have a clear picture, right? My puzzle is coming together. So now I have a clear vision of what I need to do, with my movement. So red pills for me are just being open to, to receiving information that is not information you've been taught or shown, or that you think because we're not infinite. We don't have infinite, knowledge. So there has to be something that you have to allow in order for you to grow. So, to me, that's a red pill. Just being open to receive, and then moving differently once when you know better, you do better. To me, that's a red pill. So.
Right. And you're right. And that's absolutely true. But most times, and you and I kind of talked about it earlier, we know better with stuff like smoking cigarettes, for instance. We know cigarettes aren't good for us, right? But we still smoke cigarettes. But what is it in our mind that makes us want to keep doing that? And that's like with everything. It's really a matter of you being open, like you said, to receiving the information and then moving, to determine how to move from there.
Right.
Chris, what about you? How do you perceive or what is the red pill?
Just reality, pretty much. Logic. I'm just gonna give it to you short, like.
When you say logic, what you mean though? Like
logic to me is reasoning, like something that it makes sense. In other words,
it's one of our higher faculties too. Reasoning is one of our higher faculties that we don't learn in school. So that makes sense. So you're saying the red pill is anything that you might, any information that you might receive, and if it is, logical to you, or if it's within reason to you, then you can receive it maybe as a personal truth, or if not even a personal truth, you can receive the information for what it is, but still, navigate through this twilight zone knowing the information.
Yeah,
that's the hard part.
That is the hard part, and really checking your emotions in the process, because checking your emotions once you get information, that's the hardest part, because you want to feel like, you don't want to feel like you've been duped, or you don't want to feel like you've been lied to, or you don't want to feel like, you were deceived your entire life, or however old you are when you take a red pill. Like, you don't want to even believe that that's the truth. But your intuition will tell you, if you listen to it and if you're in tune with it, your intuition will say, Yeah,
That's another higher faculty, guys.
right. This makes
Issue.
sense. Exactly.
That's another faculty. They only teach us 5 senses: hear, smell, touch, taste, and what else? Touch, taste, smell, hear, and
See,
sight. Sight. Okay. But they don't teach us about
That'll
what
get you
we
every
believe.
time. Them-
Sixth sense.
Right.
The sixth sense, right? That is the non-physical part of us. That is the intuition, what makes us our imagination, our perception, our memory. Those are higher mental faculties that differentiate humans from animals, right? So if you think about programming and like what Alicia said, we get this information, but because we're on our program, it's easy for us to stay or not or refute the information, right? We want to refute it because it's different from what we know. But we got a lot of truths today, and I know for me, when I first got my first red pill, went down the rabbit hole, like Morpheus said in The Matrix. And guys, if you have not seen that movie, you definitely need to watch the first Matrix, because that is giving you a preempt of what's to come if we do not wake up, and it's really serious. But before we even get down that rabbit hole, when I was introduced to this, and I realized that one area we were being duped, like it devastated me. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I was living my life all this time this way and thinking this, and to know it was all a lie.
mm-hmm.
That is, that's a little disheartening.
Hard.
So Alicia, you've gotten a lot today. I got that in doses. You've gotten a lot over the last few weeks. How are you like receiving this?
Again, I believe not everybody will receive it, because you may not just be in a mental state to receive it, right? So like I said, if it was, some time ago, I probably would not have been open to having these conversations, or even staying connected. I'd been like, man, I don't know what they're talking about, but let me go back over here and, go to work. You know what I mean? Like I would have been blind to it. I would have been too busy and too preoccupied to really hear some truths so that I could move differently. But you guys have definitely overdosed me on the red pill, and I appreciate it, because all it does is help me get back into, not back into, but it helps me understand why I need to start preparing myself and my family for what's to come. And even if what's to come never comes, which would be awesome, I know that I was prepared for it, and I know that I won't be a day late or a gram short because I did what I needed to do based on the information that I've been given. So yeah, we're fighting a quiet war out here, and I just need folks to get their stuff together.
Yeah, and so we're gonna stop tiptoeing around it. I know you guys are like, what are they talking about? What are they talking about, right? But just real quick, I want to read out some of the responses. So Shafiq said, red pill means to me that it's a Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, like a path for freedom, like it frees your mind to know what the red pill is. And really, that's a great description of it. It does, it frees your mind, because I think we all have this thing that we feel like something is wrong. Like we feel that there is something not right. And that feeling is our intuition, which I was just saying, because it's not right. Because there is a war against humanity. Doesn't matter what race you are or anything like that. All that matters is that you are trying to be transformed into machines. Like our beings are trying to be recreated. And people who have a lot of income or a lot of cash flow, they have a lot of say in what happens, because we don't have the wealth. But the crazy part is that they have created this system
Crazy.
That's the crazy part. Like it's planned out. It's spelled out, and it's called Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. Guys, you gotta look at this. Go to stopthecrime.net. You can find this document, but there is a document called Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, which of course I had already known that the war on terror is the war on us. Actually, George Bush told us that live after the 9/11 debacle, that show, which is what it was. That red pill was hard to swallow, that they blew up the Trade Center and that the bombs were already built
Ms.
inside
Watkins, what's going on?
yeah, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy, guys. So we have to prepare. We have to get prepared for what's happening. And with everything that is happening, if we do not want to participate in the system that they've already created, listen, unless a number of us wake up in a short period of time, that's the only way we stop in this train. Otherwise, it is full force ahead. They are 10 years out from having artificial wombs to augment the life creation process. Like, these are some really interesting individuals. They're really, really interesting. And guess what? Because they have the funds, then they can control that. That's why we named the show Got Gold. Alicia, how does preparing with gold help?
Well, let's just back up. So they already have all the money, right? We know that maybe 3% of the world like holds all of the wealth. So they already have all the money. So what happens after you have all the money? Then you want all the power and control. So you have to understand that,
Respect.
right? So you have to understand that this is about you securing yourself financially with the proper instrument of money. But at the end of the day, they've already got what they need, and now they're after control. And they're after control of everybody, not just blacks, not just whites, not just yellows or greens or purples, like everybody and everything. Everything. Your water, your air, your electricity, how you live, where you live, control over everything. The only way that you can combat that is if you are protected with a shield. And you can't be protected with a paper shield. That's just the bottom line. So gold is a protection because it will allow you to be able to navigate. It'll allow you to be able to have a global currency, not just something local, not just something that's accepted in the United States, which is not even accepted. The dollar isn't accepted in many countries now. They don't want it. But with gold, you have a global currency, and that's something you want to have. I mean, I'm not telling you to put all your eggs in one basket. I'm not telling you to. We are not financial advisors. But what I will tell you is that you need to have a good portion. You need to have a stockpile. You need to have something that is reliable, something that they cannot manipulate. They can manipulate dollars. They can manipulate stocks, ETFs,
property,
all of that. They can manipulate cryptocurrency if it's not backed by a stable commodity. They can manipulate everything that you have your hands on. And the dominoes are falling. Things are falling just as they, and we say they because they are the elite, those who have the control. Their dominoes are falling just how they plan them to.
It's a fact.
And it's interesting too that you said that, because prior even to us coming across this document, which is Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, you can find it on stopthecrime.net. Listen, we are just getting the information out. You can discern it for yourself, but I definitely encourage you to read it, because this document was produced, I think, in 1979. And
good year.
The things that they're talking about now, I'm sorry, in that document, it's happening right now. It's so crazy. Like it's a trauma. Like it's really a trauma to know, like in real life, that your life is at stake. The generations to come humanity as a species is at stake. Like, this is the severity of it. So Donald Trump, we just heard him say that he was going to, if governors do not take action and mobilize the riots that are happening in their cities, that they are going to, he is going to deploy the military to come, the US military to come to the streets of the city. So that means if they usher us in the house, then what happens? What happens for you know, if we're back in quarantine and if we can't, we got an 8 o'clock curfew. What are we gonna do at 8 o'clock?
7
At
o'clock.
7? They changed it?
We gonna punish. We gonna punish.
Y'all listen, this is real life punishment, and we are adults, and we are being acquiescent.
And they might not even give us our stimulus from what he was just saying until the country's back to restored. The order is restored. You know what he said? Until the order is restored, they will be able to help businesses build and help economies or help people's homes or some funny, I'm paraphrasing what the brother,
Right.
what the 4-5 said. 4/5 said it. I don't know. I'm just saying what he said. But basically, that's saying a stimulus, I mean, it's questionable. There's so many people banking on this type of information or this type of funding, this help from these people. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not the time.
And he knows that there is an organized group out there that is perpetuating these riots. He knows it's not the local citizens that are initiating these things. He knows it's,
For the most part,
it's an organization that's deploying into these major cities and causing, you know, not the peaceful protests, but the rioting. So he knows that this is not, it's not the people, it's an organization that is making like it's the people.
It seems so hard to believe like this stuff is happening. Like in real life, there are organizations that pay people, and people really do it to go out here and act for a serious situation or protest and tear stuff up, like for paper dollars. They do this for paper dollars, creating a scene because these people, silent weapons. What you're asking?
What's the name of the group? Because he mentioned it 3 times. What was the name?
No,
I forgot what son said.
I forgot too, actually.
It begins with an A, but he mentioned it about 3 or 4 times, and he told him to stop. He told him to cut it out because he knows exactly who's doing it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And they're making it seem like that is our issue. And the real issue is that we don't have enough gold and we are not self-sufficient. We are relying on a government that's a business, that's not a representative government, meaning that it doesn't matter if you or I vote. The thing is that is just a game to make you feel like you are included. They already have it mapped out. These folks have been doing this for centuries. And the crazy part is they've been doing it for centuries. Yeah. That's the crazy part. Century is 100 years.
And it's documentation of it too. And that's the crazy part. And the documentation could be, you know, you could find this information.
Right.
That's what makes it even worse. Like, cause you could actually find this information and it's been out here.
Right.
79 was a good year though. I want to point that out there though.
I mean, it is the number of golds on the periodic.
It is. So the reason that we wanted to tell you this is because really the war on terror is the war on us. We have to come together. Our greatest power is unity. We can only do that with economic resources. Chris, you posted a post earlier that said that was from one of the Rothschilds, because the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers own everything, and how people think in 2020 that's okay for people to own everything, and they're just bystanders watching this happen with all of the information that we have today is beyond me. You don't have to do everything to change the world, but you start where you can, and you start in your own house. So to close the wealth gap, you start with yourself. So we're telling you this so you can prepare and get prepared and connected to a group of people that is headed. Listen, we have to go through the storm too. We have to go through it too. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just agreeing with you. I was just saying the same thing you were saying at the same time. It was kind of weird. Anomalies. It's crazy. Had to be there.
Same storm, different boat. Definitely a different boat. But it starts in here. Like it's either gonna start in your heart or start
You gotta believe it.
It's gonna be one of the two. And you've got to take care. You need to prepare yourself for at least a year of no outside help. Water, food, like whatever, toilet paper, sure, whatever, but definitely water and food, right? You need to start growing your own vegetables, your own fruits. You need to start catching some rainwater, boiling some water, whatever it is you need to do, but you need to start doing it and having it in a reserved location. Make sure you have enough finances together just in case something happens. If you have a permit, you need to be able to carry. You need to get you something so you can carry it, but you need to protect yourself. You have to protect yourself, and that you don't want to be in that mass group of people who are, pillaging for food.
Scrambling.
Right.
The ones that waited for, somebody to help them. When we got the opportunity to help ourselves, and even if you start with like $10, even if you started saving $10, man, like come on, like I'm sure that's it's possible. It's possible for everybody to do that. Acquiring, starting at $10, man, come on.
That's right.
Securing yourself, securing your home with $10, starting at $10, and that's for you. That ain't for nobody else, but for you and your family.
That's the best part too, because you're not even spending money. I mean, you're not spending paper. You're exchanging paper for real money, and it's as many paper dollars as they print. You can guarantee that your gold is definitely gonna go up. But even outside of the gold, like Alicia said, we definitely have to make sure we have water and food, because the war is against you. It is. Silent weapons for quiet wars. You have to listen to the document. It's on YouTube too. You can definitely check that out. You can find it at stopthecrime.net if you want a written copy. Listen, you don't even have to, just consider the information, and then you, based on all of the information you have personally, you can make your own decision. Right. But it's better to hope for the best and prepare for the worst. And we're just suggesting that you prepare for the worst. That's all. We're suggesting that you prepare for the worst because we're real people. And listen, we got the information late. We're behind the 8 ball. Like, we are behind. So we're not scrambling because we're taking the steps. Right. But we know how to move because we know what's in front of us. So that's why we're really sharing it, because we feel like it's our duty that we have to. Alicia or Christy, y'all want to add anything?
I'll just say this. In the climate that we're in right now, it's easy to wear your emotions on your sleeve, and it's easy to be led by your emotions. You should be angry, you should be upset, but this is not about Mr. Floyd. It's just not. It's not. And it is an unfortunate event. There's been so many others. And there probably will be more in the future. That's just the reality of things. So you can't be led by your emotions, but you do need to redirect those emotions. You need to really sit with yourself and determine what your next move needs to be for yourself and for your family. Not for me, not for Chris, not for Tasheen. If you decide, should you decide, we hope that you decide to get gold and start to store it for yourself. You're doing that for you and your future. Your gold has nothing to do with my gold. I'm going to stack my gold. Chris is going to stack his gold. Tasheen is going to stack her gold. And we're going to have gold regardless, whether you do or you don't. but we hope
Right,
that
and we already do, and
And
we
we do.
already do.
we do. We just hope that those emotions push you to do something positive, right? Because there's so much you can control. There's only so much you can control, but the things that you can control, like instead of going on Amazon, get you a free gold savings account and start acquiring gold at a very reasonable exchange for yourself. That's something simple that you can do to control the economy in your own home. So it's a simple decision. You know, the question is, will you do it? And if you don't know how, or you have questions, get back with one of us. Get back to anybody who shared this stream. But you need to move differently, because we're in a time where moving the same has not worked for us. The voting hasn't worked. The marches haven't worked. The protesting hasn't worked. The complaining hasn't worked. We're in this bad cycle. You have to move different. You have to bust out of that cycle. You have to, or you're going to inflict the same pain on yourself and your children in the next generation. You're just teaching them the wrong things to do.
You're perpetuating the system. You're perpetuating the system. That's what you're doing.
You're feeding the beast.
Feeding the beast. Yep, that's it. Chris, sir, you want to close this out? Or with your last remarks, and then you can close this out, sir. Do you have anything?
Hey man, you know, like I agree with y'all too, man. We only losing because we consuming. And that's really it.
Ooh, that's a part of a bar for our.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We're gonna have some bars on the background here. Catch the flow.
Now on real time though, and that's something we need to consider. We're only losing because we consuming, and we need to start acquiring, you know, whatever we are exchanging our money for it. We need to make sure that it's something that's going to benefit us tomorrow versus, you know, cost us or us blow our money, because that's all we've been doing is blowing money. If we had money, we would be able to change a lot of these laws, a lot of these mandates, a lot of these, the way these police come through here on these blocks.
Or make our own.
Like we would have so much more position with our neighborhoods and our communities and our homes if we acquired money versus trying to save cash, say this fiat. So the best thing for us to be doing is, you know, racking up on this, you know, acquiring these assets, man. You know, you can get them for as small as a 10th of a gram, man. Like, you know what I mean? Come on. 10th of a gram, man. Come on. It's like, you know what I mean? I mean, let's make it make sense, really, pretty much. And I mean, I don't want to keep it going too long, but you know, at the same time, man, something has to change. And we have to be the ones that, you know, take the courage, take the initiative. You know what I mean? This is ours. If it's ours, then let it be that. You know what I'm saying? Let that be known. You feel me? So yeah. Y'all got me zoned out. Yeah, but yes, that was love.